So, this is Carson from Disc Golf in Canada. I'm doing a what's in the bag video. You know, I'm pretty new to this. I just started disc golfing in August of this year, so it's been a lot of fun. This is my cat, Artemis. He likes to hang out. No, get out of the way, buddy. Come on, out of the way. All right, on with Artemis. So, yeah, like I was saying, I'm pretty new to this, but it's been lots of fun so far. You know, just getting to learn the sport and, you know, see how much it's growing online too. You know, I watch tons of YouTube videos already on the sport, and, you know, I'd love to be part of growing the sport myself, you know, and trying to, you know, get some more courses in the area that I live, because I've been having lots of fun with it. So I'm gonna do my first video here, my what's in the bag video. So to start off, I got my towel. It's my you know, trusty Mickey Mouse towel. You know, don't mind, it's an older towel, don't mind getting her a little dirty, so wipes the mud off the disc and does a job. Thanks, Mickey. So the Mickey towel's in there. Now I'll start laundry. Laundry's done, should go change it. So anyway, I'll start with my drivers, my distance drivers here. And right now I got everything color coordinated in my bag, so it's a little bit out of place, but anyways, my distance drivers. So I've got four currently, 4 distance drivers. This one right here is the Calvin Heinberg Halo Plastic Destroyer, Tour Series Destroyer by Innova. It's a good disc. It's durable. I love the way it flies. It's a little bit overstable. It's not crazy overstable. It flies, you know, pretty flat if you give it a good snap for a while, and then it likes to finish hard to the left. So, you know, trustworthy disc. You can throw it high, and it likes to hyzer back too. So, you know, that's nice. It's a nice disc. This is the T-Devil by Innova as well. Very similar to a Destroyer in numbers, actually. It's 12.5 -1.2. It's the Blizzard plastic, this one specifically. So what that means is that there's these little air bubbles in the rim of the disc, making it lighter. This is only about 148 grams, this disc itself. But it's awesome. It's a lot of fun to throw. Flips up nice if you throw it on a hyzer. You know, it comes out and flips up and glides for a good amount. And yeah, just a really fun disc to throw. And you gotta be careful if you turn it over. Sometimes it likes to go really far right. So, you know, you gotta be a little bit you know, careful on the release and not to tug it too much. But lots of fun. This one right here. So this is the Proton Lift by Streamline Discs, which I believe is you know, MVP Disc Sports as well, or some kind of affiliation there. But yeah, so the Proton Lift Special Edition. This disc is awesome. It's consistent. The only downside to this thing is that it's brown, which is my fault for buying a brown disc in the fall. Very difficult to find in the woods, but you know, it comes out nice. It's got, I think it's a -1 or -2 as far as turn goes. So, you know, you throw it out and it flattens out nice and glides for a long time. And you know, very trustworthy disc. I like throwing this one on a lot of holes, because I know pretty much where it's gonna go. It's a lot of fun to throw, but if it gets away from you, it can be tough to find in the fall. So different color, maybe. I'd suggest probably a different color in this one, but it's a nice disc overall. Now, my last distance driver. See, I had, actually, full disclosure, I had 2 other distance drivers. I had a Ballista Opto Plastic, which is a pink disc, and I loved it. It was awesome. Speed 14, a fast disc. You could throw it a long ways, but I threw it into a pond in Etobicoke, Ontario. So, you know, if anybody finds that, my number's on it. My other one, I had another T-Devil that was pink, but it was actually 146, really light disc. It was awesome. I did the same thing though, turned it over and put it in the exact same pond in Etobicoke. So, you know, they're probably stacked on top of each other in the pond. So if you find one, you might find the other. And like I said, numbers on it, give me a shout. Anyways, so my last distance driver that I have in my bag right now is the Discraft Crank, also online. Just reminded myself that I have a Discraft Force, so I have 2 more distance drivers. the Discraft Crank. I recently just got this one. It's got a turn of -2. So supposed to be understable. When I throw this thing, it doesn't turn a whole lot. It flattens up, like it flattens out if you throw it on a hyzer, but it doesn't turn like -2 like I would expect. So you know, obviously every disc is different, but I like how it flies. I don't hate that it doesn't turn, you know, a ton. So that's good. I know how it flies, and you know, as sure as it beats into and gets you know, a little older, and as I use it more, it's gonna get more understable. So, anyways, Discraft Crank, lovely disc. And this one I've actually had. I can't believe I forgot about this one. It's almost sad. It's one of my first distance drivers I had, and honestly, it's funny too. I've only been playing for a few months, but one of the first ones I bought. Very overstable disc. Not very overstable, but pretty overstable. Trustworthy. I like throwing a lot of forehands at this disc. You know, it always finishes consistently. You know, whether backhand, forehand, it likes to turn, and that's why I put my little artwork on it too, with the arrow, you know, showing me that it likes to finish left. So, yeah, great disc. Laundry's reminding me again, but great disc. The Discraft Force. Would definitely suggest putting that in your bag. So now we're done with the distance drivers. Got 5 of those bad boys, so more than enough for me to throw all over the place and go looking for. So moving on, the Fairway Drivers. Now this is the Volt Cosmic Neutron plastic, the MVP Disc Sports Volt. Now I really like this disc. It is stable to slightly understable. It's actually negative 0.5 turn. So when you throw this thing, it stays pretty flat, might flip up just a touch, but not too much. And then, you know, finishes left. It's got a fade of 2. It's not too strong that it goes, you know, way left, but it likes to, you know, always glide nice and left. So pretty consistent disc. Lots of fun to throw. We like that one. And here's a new disc for me. I actually recently got this one. This is the Big Z Discraft Annex. The Annex, Paul Macbeth Annex. So cool little artwork on it, actually. It's like a Spartan or some kind of Spartan warrior with a interesting little axe hammer thing. So pretty cool. But you know, fun to throw. It's relatively overstable, actually. I'm not 100% sure on the numbers of this guy. I forget right now, but you know, I like throwing this one so far. I got to get used to it still, but yeah, relatively overstable, but good disc, faster disc, fun to throw. Comfortable grip, actually, I should add, just as I was putting it down there. Kind of felt that. I like the way it feels in my hand. Now this is one of my you know, favorite discs, actually. It's hard to throw, very hard to throw. This is the Cosmic Neutron plastic Streamline Discs Flare. So the Flare is a very overstable disc. Speed 9, glide of 4, turn 0, and fade of 3.5. So it likes to go left for sure. You throw this thing on a hyzer and it goes. So you got to make sure you're throwing, you know, pretty flat. If you want this thing to get out there through a gap, you know, you got to keep it pretty flat, maybe even a little anti-release, so it gets through that gap and then really starts to fade to the left. Or even on a forehand, you can throw kind of a chop forehand if you want with this, and you know, it stays through the gap and then likes to flatten out and go. So you know, consistent disc, fun to throw. I love it. Durable, great plastic. The Cosmic Neutron plastic by Action Discs or MVP Disc Sports, you know, it's fantastic. It's great plastic. Durable, doesn't get a lot of nicks in it even after hitting trees and, you know, ground, sand, mud, roots, skipping through the woods. You know, it's still in real good shape after you know, a couple months. So I like that disc. I'm actually a really big fan of the Streamline Discs brand. You know, a lot of my favorite discs come from this brand. I love this disc right here, the Streamline Drift Fairway Driver. Speed 7, glide 5, turn of -2, and a fade of 1. So, you know, it doesn't really like to finish all that left, but when you throw this guy, you know, you can throw it on a hyzer and it flattens out and glides a long ways, especially with that turn, right? It likes to kind of turn over and glide, and just barely finish back straight. So Really, really nice disc for straight shots on those kind of like mid-range, medium distance shots like that. I like that one. Moving on, we'll go to the mid-range discs because we've done our distance drivers and our fairway drivers. So mid-ranges. Now, moment of silence for my Thought Space Pathfinder. Loved it. Loved that disc, but tried to throw it over the water on hole 17 in Niagara Falls and hit a branch and drop straight down. So might get it back. It's got my number on it too. So a couple fallen soldiers and some ponds, but either way, I've got my 4 mid-ranges left. I'll tell you about these ones, and yeah, this is the one I like to throw. Probably, I used to throw it a lot more, actually. I got to be honest. I haven't been throwing it more as of late. When I first got this disc, this is the Daredevil Discs Caribou. Very understable disc. -3 turn, speed 4, glide of 5. So it likes to glide too, but easy to grip lock and turn this guy over. Obviously, at that understable disc, you got to be careful on release, but if you need to cruise it right and get through some gaps, this is going to be a really useful disc, and it's lots of fun too. But yeah, I was throwing this a lot more, but I've kind of switched, and I'll show you what I kind of replaced them with, unfortunately. But he still gets a toss here and there, but not as many as he used to, because I've replaced it honestly with this one, the Daredevil Discs Moose. The Moose. So yeah, that's a 4502. This is a more overstable disc, or stable disc, I shouldn't say overstable, as a mid-range. It stays pretty straight, but yeah, it does have that nice finish, that nice left finish on a backhand. I don't throw too many forehands with this disc, to be honest. It's kind of like a flimsier disc. These Daredevil discs are Canadian discs, actually. I think they're made for Canadian weather, for the colder weather. So awesome. I'm glad I support a Canadian company. But yeah, some of my favorite discs. Love the feel of them, the grip on them, and yeah, was throwing the Caribou a lot more, but now the Moose seems to be kind of taking over. I'm throwing it a lot more on a lot more holes, and like the overstability, and it's a trustworthy disc. Stays pretty straight, so like that one. Now, this disc. This is my Starline by Innova Discs. It's actually a pretty nice mid-range too. It stays pretty straight, 5402. So similar numbers, except just the speed and glide, flip-flopped on these two discs. So a little bit faster, this Starline, less glide, but I really do like throwing this disc. It's just I haven't found a hole that I'm super comfortable with it yet. Like on my home course, I don't really have a hole that I really go to this disc a lot. But when I have to throw it, if I do find myself in an area when I have to throw it, it's comfortable, and it's nice. It's probably just my least used disc, I will say, of my mid-range discs. So, might get more use now that I lost my Pathfinder. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's the Starline. Okay, moving forward. The Star Mako 3 mid-range disc by Innova Disc Golf. PDGA approved, of course. But yeah, and you got my little artwork on it too, a little shark fin on there for the Mako. But yeah, this is a 5500. Interesting disc. It actually, very interesting. When you throw this thing, honestly, if you throw an Annie or a hyzer or whatever, it likes to pretty much hold that line. It doesn't really flatten out. If you throw it on a hyzer, it'll pretty much stay there. If you throw it on an Annie, it'll just kind of cruise a little bit Annie. It stays very, very, very straight out of your hand, however you throw it. So this could be a really consistent disc as well. Just as long as your form and your release is consistent all the time, then it can be a very good disc. But this kind of disc can definitely show you, the inconsistencies in your form, because when you're trying to throw this thing over and over again, it's, not going necessarily the right way all the time, because there's not that finish, that left-handed finish all the time. That can kind of save you from, some of the tugs or some of the little miscues in your throw. So it's fun to throw a disc like this and, really see all the little changes in your grip and how it flies through the air, because any little difference throwing this disc, it makes a big difference in flight. So lots of fun to throw. I don't throw it too much on the course because of that reason, but I'm practicing with it a lot. So been lots of fun. Now, moving on to my putters. I have the most discs I have, or sorry, the most kind of discs, or should I say, how do I want to say this? I have the most putters of anything, and of any kind of disc. I have putters, 6 of them. The reason for that is because, you know, I have a couple putters right here that I only putt with. I don't throw these really on the course too much. Occasionally I'll throw this pink one, the eraser grip, but not too often. And these are both the discs I like to putt with. These are Wizards. This is by Gateway Disc Sports. So these putters got just a tiny little bead on the bottom here, on the bottom of the rim. Nice round edge. I like the grip of them, the way they like float through the air, and these ones are pretty stable. These putters, and they got just a tiny little left-handed finish. So on the longer putts, you can kind of hang them out and count on the fact that they're going to come back to the left. So really like these putters, and I like the artwork, the foil on this one with the wizard there. He's pretty cool, and this one, the what's the AR? I can't remember what the AR stands for. If anybody remembers, feel free to fire it in the comments. But yeah, got those 2 putters for putting. Really like those guys, consistent. I bought this green one, was on fire with it, and then I had to add another wizard to the bag because I liked it so much. Now, the putters that I toss around the course for some approach shots and, you know, little things like that. First one I'll show you, here's the Berg by Castoplast Discs. I don't know if it's Castoplast Discs or just Castoplast. But yeah, the Berg putt and approach disc. It's interesting. It's got like a little like beveled almost edge, like a on the inside here for like your thumb to kind of, you know, sit in when you're grabbing the disc. It's cool. It's got an interesting feel on that release. You get definitely something you got to get used to and throw it a few times because it feels a little awkward at first. But once you get used to it, it's a 1102, so pretty slow disc. Not a lot of glide. Doesn't go very far, but consistent. You know, 2 fade, so you know this thing likes to come back. So if you can get a nice consistent grip with this, which is I think why they have that rim with this disc. Nice consistent grip, consistent release, and this is a nice disc for those short approach shots. Sits right down. The NV, okay, this is my only glow disc right now, and I love this disc. The NV the NV Putt and Approach Glow Plastic Eclipse. This is also an MVP Action Discs disc. You know, I got a lot of those. And the NV, I know all of you have seen the James Conrad shot and then the World Championships or whatever it was when he threw that big backhand turnover with his NV from 180 feet or something crazy. I don't know. It was a wild throw in, but he did that with his NV. So of course had to add one of those to the bag, and you know, expensive disc, but love this one. It's definitely worth the money. You know, you can throw it on a lot of holes, a lot of different lines, and it's lots of fun. Really like this one, and it glows in the dark, so really cool. This is the first disc I ever got, actually. My pure Zero Soft putter, Putt and Approach disc by Latitude 64. I've lost this one. It's been returned to me, so shout out to that guy that returned it. I can't remember his name. I don't know if he ever told me via text message there, but appreciated that. Yeah, I like this disc. It's a 3.3 -1.1, like slightly understable putter. So if you give this one a pretty good rip, and it'll kind of turn and glide through the woods if you need to hit a gap, and it won't hit the trees and go all over the place because it's that softer plastic, right, and kind of folds and might just fall nice for you. So that's definitely good that it doesn't deflect all over the woods when you got to hit a line. Like that disc for that reason. And the last one I have to show you. This is actually this is one of my favorite discs. It's really hard, like a hard plastic. It doesn't really fold. This is the Page Pierce Fierce by Discraft. It is an understable putter, speed 3, glide 4, turn of -2, and fade of 0. So this disc, I throw it honestly on a lot of holes. I throw it on a hyzer and it comes out and just stands up nice and glides straight. So if you can find a good line or a consistent release to with this putter, You know, I obviously every disc, like we said, is different, but for this one, for me, it just pops up nice and then glides straight and finishes nice and straight. So really like this putter, and if I need to as well, and give it a good turn and release it straight, and it'll go right for me if I need to get around some trees to the right. So versatile disc, and you know, lots of fun, and really consistent. One of my favorites, like I said. Durable, great plastic, and that's it. That's about it. So appreciate everybody for you know, joining me in this video, the what's in the bag video. I'll be adding obviously to it, and maybe do some updates along the way, or maybe another what's in the bag video a couple months down the road, and see how things have changed, what stays in the bag, what goes. But that's it so far. Oh, I lied again. One more thing. I can't remember what this is called, but it's similar to the whale sacks, right? It's the Dynamic Discs version, you know, the grip powder kind of stuff, and sits in your bag, and it's nice, you know, when your hand gets a little sweaty or wet on the course, and you know, you need to get a little dust on the hand and re-grip the disc, and so you're not early releasing and throwing it all over the woods. So really nice to have one of those in the bag. And the last thing I got to show you, I'm a bit of a bird nerd, so I like birds. It was part of my program in college, and you know, I can appreciate you know, their anatomy, and just a lot of cool things about them. So I keep a little bird guide in my bag too, in case you see some interesting birds while you're out there on the course, and you know, just something to appreciate nature while you're out there. Of course, you know, it's great to golf and, you know, have fun with your buddies, but to appreciate the nature and the natural world around us is something too. So that's why I like to keep that in there, and just a little bit of another layer to disc golfing that's fun, is being out in the woods and being able to see some interesting birds and knowing what they are. So thanks for joining me, guys, and it's been lots of fun. So follow my page, Disc Golf in Canada, on Instagram. Might upload this to YouTube here and see how that goes, but this is the first one, so hopefully those of you that are with me now stay with me, and see how we do and how we grow. Thanks a lot.